We have some unprecedented news that all the Arab countries' military leaders have met with Brad Cooper, including two that have never met before. And it seems like some alliances are being formed. Lebanon is forcing Hezbollah to come to the negotiating table, which has also never happened before. There are some wild claims coming out of the Islamic Republic from several different politicians claiming that a coup has happened. The Kurdish separatist invasion has some massive updates with a lot of casualties being reported all of a sudden and ballistic missiles being flown overhead. Khamenei's funeral is coming up in 2 days, and we have some big updates. We have the route that they're traveling, the aerial route, everything, all the details are given. There's tents set up around the city and everything, and a lot of controversy surrounding it as well. Mujtaba Khamenei's wife had her funeral, and guess who wasn't there for his wife's funeral? We might be able to guess that. The United States has started payments to Iraq again due to their good behavior. That's been happening, and arrests are still ongoing there. Saudi may have a falling out with the United States. There's a war in Ukraine update, as well as several different fun clips for you guys to see today. So let's get into it. Centcom has met, and in Farsi, they have posted this for everyone to see. This is what's going on. Let's go here, add. So in Farsi, this was posted. In this image, if you guys can see, it's a little bit blurry, but these are all the military leaders of the Persian Gulf Arab countries, as well as Lebanon and Syria. Lebanon and Syria has never attended any sort of military meeting with the United States before, ever. This is completely unprecedented. And it was supposed that in this meeting, Syria and Lebanon were coordinating with CENTCOM on how to provide further security in coordination with the Americans. Lebanon, that makes sense. Brad Cooper just showed up, so it made sense that they would show up to this meeting as well. But for Syria to show up and start pledging some security cooperations with the United States all of a sudden out of nowhere, that took me by surprise as well. This was hosted in Bahrain. Well, today, I mean, right now it would be like 1 a.m. in the Middle East, but earlier this morning in the Middle East, this happened. People are speculating as to what this could mean. What do you think it could mean?
A new alliance against the Islamic Republic led by the United States.
Yeah, pretty much.
Look at that. The
And
U.S. is right in front of the U.S. flag. Is that Admiral Cooper?
that's Brad Cooper. Yeah, that's CENTCOM commander.
Wow. You know, Ali, a few years from now, we're going to be looking at this picture and we're going to see Israel and Iran out there as well. What do you think?
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully. So the interesting part about this is that this comes shortly after Brad Cooper says that they will probably reportedly be deploying troops into Lebanon to watch if both sides break the ceasefire, if Hezbollah or Israel breaks the ceasefire. But then he also said that they're going to help the Lebanese military, and we all know who they're going to help against. Then they came out with this meeting, and then Syria was also involved. Now, the reason why Syria is important is because the Islamic Republic smuggles and ships a lot of supplies through Syria into Lebanon to fund and supply Hezbollah. This could be a way for CENTCOM to be more aware of these things, track them, and perhaps, be a lot more on top of their game, because it does seem like in the past week or two, they're choking down on Hezbollah. You know what country isn't here, Armin? Turkey.
Ooh.
Turkey is very much opposed to Israel, and today, Hakan Fidan, the foreign minister of Turkey, came out and said that Israel is a parasite, it's a cancer, it should be destroyed, it's the problem of the world, this and that.
Wow.
And I'm like, wow, that's a very unprofessional thing to say as a foreign minister of a country, of a neighboring country as well. So Turkey is very much opposed to everything that's going on in this picture.
So Syria is kind of somewhat of a proxy of Turkey. They're here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what do you think about that?
I think Syria has probably trying to see which side it should play is my best guess. They did show up here, and at the same time, Turkey's telling them to not show up. Yeah, it's a good question. That border, though, that they share with Israel is of great importance, and with Lebanon. I think that's the key part that CENTCOM commander Brad Cooper wants to get squared away here. He wants to make sure that if there's operations and the US soldiers are operating in Lebanon, there's nothing that can come in and mess it up out of left field.
So we got two super chats that is relevant to the picture, so I'm gonna read them now. Steak and Beans is saying there is no Syria anymore, just ISIS, referring to Jolani or al-Shara, the new president of Syria, being a former ISIS or current ISIS leader. And also Steak and Beans is saying Turkey is there, Ali. It is ISIS Syria. So Turkey, again, referring to the point. No, no, I mean, I don't know, like referring to the point that some people believe that Syria is controlled by Turkey. I mean, it's taking me. Let me know, what do you think about the fact that President Trump really loves al-Shara and so is supporting al-Shara as well? So right now, Jolani or al-Shara, the president of Syria, is being supported by Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and United States, by all of these aggressively. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think al-Shara, or Jolani as they call him, is probably smarter than we give him credit for. He did rise to that position with the blessings of the United States, and so to a certain extent, if he has the support of the US, he's also getting, some sort of material intelligence, some sort of actual support from them, and will only be able to go against what the United States might want to a certain extent. So it makes I see that they showed up here, and he has no choice, in my opinion, but to bow down to a couple people around him, because Syria at the moment is not really a secure country in terms of borders or security in general. It's a lot better than it was, just a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. But it's still a huge work in progress. I mean, that country was torn apart by war for over a decade. So I don't think they have much choice. They're going to play their sides. They're going to see who to follow, and they're going to ride the wave. And it's a smart thing to do.
Yeah, we're not saying he's a good person, but it is strategic.
Yeah. So that was the CENTCOM update there. And then if we go over to Lebanon itself, President Aoun, I'm trying to pronounce that right, has today criticized Hezbollah. Aoun said Lebanon made an independent decision to negotiate. Independent. We won't let anyone negotiate on our behalf. So Hezbollah negotiating with the Islamic Republic about Lebanon, that's just not a thing. And then he told Hezbollah, if you're interested in a deal, give us another option. There is no other option. This is it. The only way out and the only way forward for Lebanon is to negotiate with Israel. And he said that he called on Hezbollah to join the negotiations and present their position instead of trying to mess up the negotiations. So that's the first time that Aoun has said so clearly about Hezbollah to negotiate with Israel, which is just never going to happen, ever. I'm worried about this guy's safety, in fact.
Well, I mean, if you read I don't know if it says it here, but if you read the full statement, I kind of liked and hated the statement by Aoun. Because I liked it because he said, like, hey, let's give up. We can't fight Israel. We need to negotiate. So we're like, yay. But then if you read the full statement, he does refer to Israel as the enemy. Okay. But he says, I'm like, boo, right? Like, I don't like that. But he then says it's an enemy that we can't do anything about. So we need to talk.
Yeah, he's like, we have no choice.
You have no choice. We're weak. Israel's strong. We weak. They're our enemy. But we are weak and they are strong. So this is, if you want to try something else, we tried everything else. So we have to submit to.
And
but it is clear that Israel is an enemy, which I don't like, because you just signed a peace deal with them. You shouldn't refer. I mean, I understand that if he refers to Israel as not an enemy, he would be in danger, right? But didn't like that part. My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with decades of experience fighting the Islamic regime inside and outside of Iran. Make sure you follow me for more, and also make sure you join our discussion group. I'm there almost every single day. Come talk to me there and the rest of the people there in our group calls. It's a great place to meet and talk to people who like talking about politics. The link is in the description and or in the bio. You could also get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you there.